I know what you're getting ready to say. Hey, Sarge, why you always have to play all that slow music? Man, I know I can't help it, man. But that fast rap music y'all listen to today give me heart murmurs. But hey, man, it's the Iron Elite Podcast Show where we keep it motorcycling, you dig?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this your man Kodak, the most hated, coming to you live from the Iron Elite Podcast with my man Big Sarge, where we always keep it motorcycling. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. You know what it is.
This is the Mileage Bully, the Moto Mob CEO, and your 2024 Titan. You are now listening to Sarge on the Iron Elite Podcast. Like, share, and subscribe. If you're not listening to the Iron Elite Podcast, what are you really doing? Because we are talking motorcycles over here. You dig?
Hey man, top of the morning, it's your boy Sarge, man, with another episode of I-10 to the end, man. The good, the bad, the ugly. Again on the Each One Teach One platform, man, teaching us how to do what we do, and that's ride motorcycles great, man. So I got a great guest with me this morning, man. It's the Breed Edition, man. Hey, so do me a favor, tell a friend, man. Let everybody know that we're on, because we get ready to go in, man. Hey man, top of the morning, man. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling fine. I got coffee. And we're going to be talking about my favorite subject other than the Jacksonville Jaguars, and that's motorcycling, man. And who I got doing that with me today is, man, I'm so sick of Breed. Man, they coming through, getting all my patches, they riding all over America, man. They getting on my nerves. But man, today I got my man Frank Sanders, a.k.a. Big Frizz, man, Fayetteville, North Carolina, rare breed, man. So, hey, Frizz, can you hear me, man?
I got you loud and clear, Sarge.
Top of the morning, sir. Top of the morning. How's everything?
Hey, everything is everything, man. I can't complain. It's all
Hey,
good.
man. Hey, this brother, man, you fresh off the highway. What, 24 hours? Maybe?
Not even. We got in yesterday. I touched down at the house about 3:30, 3:45.
Oh, that's crazy, man. So, hey, if you don't mind, man, let's take a couple seconds, to let the people know who you are, what you represent, what your get down is, if you don't mind.
Yeah, for sure, man. I'm just an ordinary person that tries to do extraordinary things. Uh, Man, I'm owner operator of a roofing company here in the Fayetteville area, and I like to ride my motorcycle, man. I joined Rare Breed probably within the last year and a half, so, and been on the slab ever since.
Hey, man, that's what's up, man. Hey, the owner of a roofing, man, that's Black History Month. Matter of fact, let me stop. Okay, let me stop. Let me do this. Ain't no Black History. Black history is American history. Just
It
leave it
is.
like that. But I'm gonna tell you, this month, man, I've been trying to spotlight Black business owners, man, because I think you guys are special. I think you guys are incredible, and you guys are inspiring, man. So let's do this real quick, man, for everybody. Let's do this, man. One time for the Black business owners, man. That's what's happening. Yes, sir. Hey, but what we're doing today, man, is we're gonna talk about this whole coast to coast get down, this I-10 to the end. Matter of fact, I think, man, forgive me, wife, but I want to say, Frank, I want to say you 188. I want to say you 188 that have come through, man, since this campaign, since this crazy idea came to fruition. As a matter of fact, you're the second successful completed rider this year since we started the 2024 season. But I'm going to tell you this, man. Next month, there's a bunch of them coming by. Hey, they going west, my man. They going west big
Hey,
time. But
that's the way to start it. To come from the East Coast and go that way. I
hey,
promise.
man, it's crazy, man. That whole AZ run, man, spring break, man, they are going to be bananas on the highway, man. Y'all just leave Sarge some room, man. Just give me a little bit of space to get in between, do what I gotta do, man. But hey, but let's do this, man. So, okay, you out of North Carolina,
Yep.
out of Fayetteville, am I correct?
Yep.
Uh, when did you start your ride? What was your actual date?
So, man, it's a funny story actually how it all came about. I left my house Valentine's evening. Actually, I left my house and I went down to my brother's house in Savannah, Georgia, and started to ride with him from there. The following day, when we met up with you down at the sign. Um, but I hadn't really even planned on doing I-10 to the end per se. But I went through my brother's airspace a couple weeks prior when we went down to the to do the Titan Awards. Go
Okay, there we go.
support that. And I never called him to let him know I was coming through his city. I was like, man, I'm going down there. I didn't even think about it. It didn't cross my mind. I just flew right past his house and everything. And I saw him at the event. And I was like, yo, what's up? He was like, nah, man, you know you messed up, right? You're gonna come past my house and not say anything. I was like, dang. So a couple of days goes by and he's like, yeah, I'm trying to go out to Cali. He wants to go to California. I was like, okay, when and where you going? Like, who you going with? He hasn't figured all that out yet. He's like, man, I just need to get over there and come back. Say less. Who you don't know who going with you? I'll go with you. Let's ride. And being at your event and seeing everything that you've been doing, man, I was like, I gotta be part of that. I said, we're gonna take Cali, we're gonna go I-10 to the end to get to Cali, and then however we want to come back, it's on you. So man, that's what we did. I left the house Wednesday evening, chopped it up with him down at his house, and we hit the road probably about 3 o'clock in the morning on Thursday, and never stopped.
That's what's up, man. I tell you what, when you told me when you and Pat made it to the gas station, you told me how everything kind of went down. I was like, that's some energy right there, man. That's what's up. Hey, hey, man, some people prepare 6 months in advance, 8 months in advance. Some people prepare 8 hours. I've had it, man. It's crazy, but man. So I see you guys roll in that morning. What morning was that? Was that on a Friday?
That was
You
Thursday.
say New Year's? Okay, Thursday morning. Forgive me. So Thursday morning we roll in. I see you guys roll in, all happy, ready, excited, the whole nine. I think y'all's launch time was about what 5 a.m.
Yeah, a little after 5.
Little bit after 5 a.m. Man. So didn't seem like the weather was too crazy that morning before you guys took off. Am I correct?
Yeah, the weather was beautiful, really.
Yeah.
A little chill in the air for it to be
Hmm.
Florida, but I mean, it was good.
Yeah, I remember. I was thinking, man, if you guys would have rolled through here just a couple weeks early, boy, it was ugly. It was sometime ugly. So you guys push out. Obviously, I think personally, on the 10, 5 a.m. It depends on where you're going. It's a little risky sometimes because Houston is so disrespectful with that traffic, but
Houston is
it's
disrespectful.
very disrespectful, man. But
Once you get to that inner corridor.
For sure, for
Yeah.
sure. So you guys take out and sometimes leaving at that time for me also is a little bit better because going through leaving Jacksonville and going through Osceola Forest, that's Deer Alley up in there. Now they're not big deer, they're little deer, but they're enough deer to change your life.
Yeah.
But so getting out the gate, how was the first? Well, matter of fact, let's do this. Let's do this. Okay, I know you guys didn't have a whole lot of time to prep. I think Pat made it had a little bit more time than you because he really had the right plan. Am I correct?
He he had the idea of getting over there, but as far as the route, it wasn't dialed in.
Okay,
I need
okay,
to, I know I'm gonna get on the highway, put in GPS, say I need to go to Cali, and
right,
that's where
right.
I'm going. Uh,
Okay, so okay, from the time that you guys rode and the time that you made a decision was obviously what less than 2 weeks because you guys were just coming
yeah,
off the Iron Elite event.
yeah, probably
So
about a week.
so tell me this, if you don't mind. How did you start preparing yourself and your bike for this ride? Because you're getting ready to ride over 5,000 miles, close to 6 grand. So what were some things that you thought was key to getting yourself prepared for this ride?
Man, it's so cliche, but you know the old adage: if you stay ready, you don't got to get ready. So I've got a bike that's set for the highway, and I keep it prepared at all times. I'm fortunate enough to be able to have that situation, but
Rich people problems.
yeah, I wish it was rich people problems, right? It's good credit, good.
Yeah.
um, but no, so my highway bike really it stays prepped to go at all times. So like right now, I mean, obviously we just got off a run, so my main priority now would be to go back and clean the bike, go over everything, make sure that everything's tipped off and ready to go for the next run. Um, so I could just hop on it and go at a moment's notice if need to. But things that I like to have prepared is obviously having those fluids changed, making sure the tires are good, the cable, everything mechanically
Hmm.
is working with the bike. I don't have any check engine lights that are issues that I don't know about, and stuff like that. Um, I say that with the checking these things, but even though you check these things happen on the road that are beyond your
Oh, for
control.
sure. We're gonna talk about it for sure. Yeah, yes, sir.
But yeah, so like I said, I've got
Hmm.
my around town bike, and I've
Hmm.
got my highway bike.
So no, obviously your ride. My guys and ladies that are gonna be going through in June. They pack and prepare maybe one way. My guys who and girls who go through in February, there's a little bit different component.
Oh yeah.
How, how did you prepare for cold weather? Because obviously, we riding the southern trajectory, so it's not like it's well, it gets cold in the south. I ain't going to sit in front. It
Cold in the
ain't.
south, but then you got to look
Yeah,
at the destination. The type of cold that we have here on the East Coast in the South is way different than you go into the desert and that
for
type of
sure.
cold in the South. We had a rude awakening. Our second morning, third morning, leaving El Paso.
Oh, yeah, I peeped that.
Oh my!
Oh, hey, we gonna talk about it. I peeped that.
Oh
I
my!
peeped that. Hey, so did you pack out? Did you pack out personally a heated suit, or you old school and you go chaps and those type of things?
So I left the chaps because I wanted the space in the tour bag.
Okay,
I knew on this route I had in my mind I was going to get the kids and something on the
okay,
back or there, whatever. So I needed space to pack stuff in there for whatever I was going to pick up along the route. But I've got a Gerben suit, and it's got all the liners and stuff on it. And that thing is magnificent.
hmm,
That thing, I wear that with a set of like long johns underneath it, and I'm straight. Um,
yeah.
you don't even have to plug that thing in really until it gets under 30.
Hey man, I'll tell you what, the Bells went through in December, the last week of December. And the Bells, after watching them get down with their Gerben suits, man, I'm starting to become a believer of that Gerben gear.
They the
So it's pretty quality gear, huh?
Yeah, it's real good quality. The only one issue that I have with them is the inner waterproof liner tends to wear away, I think, fairly quickly. I've only had this suit probably about a year, and the spot down by the legs where the liner zippers at, it kind of frays a little bit. But I haven't been wet in it or cold really. So
Okay. So you say you never had to plug in the whole ride, huh?
I did have to plug in, but typically you don't have to until
Yeah.
that temperature drops somewhere under like the low 40s,
Yeah, yeah,
30-degree uh,
yeah.
temperature range. You know,
Okay, for sure. Okay. So all right, so we getting together. We got a heated gear, we got our Gerben gear, we got the
rain.
normal. What's the normal stuff that you pack? Say, okay, gear. Okay, I'm gonna give everybody this. Normally, if it's cold weather, matter of fact, some riders year round they pack their heat gear. Just because
My
changing climates and
So all year round, depends on where we're traveling. So even though I've got the heated gear, which is waterproof as well, I still carry a separate set of liners. I carry my wet weather gear, the thin wet weather gear, the Harley wetsuit. So that stays in the bike 24/7. I've got my right saddlebag has like all my wearable gear on it, and then the left
mhm.
side of my bike has like my tools and uh, fuel treatment because going across the country, all these fuel stations ain't the same.
Oh,
Yeah,
for sure, for sure.
I have my fuel treatment in the one. I carry a spare bottle of oil, like WD-40, just stuff that you would need in case of a
Yeah,
breakdown or maintenance required and stuff. So I've got like my maintenance, and then I've got like my personal equipment that I wear.
equipment and stuff that you wear.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So gear. Uh, okay, let me do this. Okay, and Sarge's gonna tell you the truth now. Do you typically carry things like compressors, jump boxes, zip ties, those type of things?
Yep.
Okay.
And I try to we on the bike, so we're trying to get everything as small as possible. So
Oh,
I've
for
got
sure.
a compressor that's about that big that'll pump up a car tire, and it was used this trip.
Yeah.
Uh, Jump box that's again about that size, and then I've got a tool bag that rolls up to probably about a bundle about that big that's got everything in it from sockets, stars, anything that you would have to access on the bike.
Mm-hmm.
I have it specifically for that. So I don't have a bunch of tools in there uh,
Yeah.
that you just grab off the shelf or whatever. I got this toolkit, but I need it to be able to be specific. Like I know this
Yeah.
guy works on this bolt, this bolt, this bolt, this
Yeah.
size right here. All right, I don't have this size nut on this bolt on this bike anywhere. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
packing.
How many? So how many tools? Matter of fact, I'm gonna check with Jay that of performance on two wheels. How many particular tools that you think you would need for a Harley Davidson? Would you say what, five?
Man, shoot, no, it'll be more than that. So I
Think
mean,
more than that?
yeah,
I'm talking
um,
about general maintenance.
basic little socket set.
Yeah.
Um, we go grab my tool bag off the bag.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the left side of the bag, and I'll show you. But so I've got just a small set of Allen wrenches, a small set of the star nuts, the basic socket wrench. Uh, this trip I learned something that I'm going to put on there, and
Mm-hmm.
so the flat bar that has the socket on it to remove your tires, to remove the rim, right? So that big lug nut, whatever, they actually have a flat bar that can break the nut, and then on the other side you would just need the socket. So I need to carry that socket and that bar. So
Right.
we ran into an issue. I had to actually swap out my back tire,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and had we not been in a spot where we were able to go and access those tools, I would have been stuck for another 2, 3 days on the road.
Right.
You know,
Okay.
uh,
Okay.
it, it's being out there is when you learn. Okay, hey, I needed this, I didn't need this. And you start to tinker with it.
Oh, for sure.
Um, but I know it looks big, but
Yeah, it do look big.
so,
Yeah. Okay.
so
Okay.
and I just got basic stuff in here. You got little markers and stuff when you're sitting on the side of the road.
Check.
Uh, I got zip ties. I got zip ties. I got extra 550 cord. You never know when you have to strap
That's
something
what's up.
on to tie something up. Uh, Tire plug kit. Loctite. What do you got in here? Battery terminal grease. Some tape.
Bet. So you put together your whole complete kit for your bag.
I put the
That's
whole.
what's up.
No,
Hey, stay ready so you don't get ready, right? You don't have to get ready, right?
no.
Nice work. Nice work. So moving along. So, okay, physically, now you run a roofing company, so physically it's probably not that big of an issue for you. But do you do anything, say maybe diet wise or sleep wise, to get yourself ready for a long distance ride, or you
I
just one
don't.
of them cats, man? That yeah,
Hey, just go get it.
yeah,
The guys joke on me because they're like, man, we'll eat one meal at the end of the ride or something like that.
hmm
They don't want to be stopping and having to use the bathroom or getting tired and stuff. I'm that guy that stops at the gas stop, and while everybody's fueling up, I've got a sandwich and I'm pounding food
yeah,
and
right.
like, hey, let's go. I've got a high metabolism I'm blessed with, so I appreciate that.
Man, I can't stand y'all. Hey, but I'm gonna tell you now, when you get over 50, god dang it, man.
It dropped.
Hey, you think about food and gain weight. But that's what's up, man. So I see David said Windzone makes a pretty good tool set for Harley, 36 millimeter for rear wheel. But
Yeah.
matter of fact, David, sometime down this road, I'm gonna get with somebody and we're gonna go over maybe some type of inventory for tool sets for Harley to see if there's a standard set number of tools that we can bring that actually I can bring on the show and says, hey man, these are pretty much standard. Now, are they going to be 100% solution to everything? No. But is it going to be maybe the 80% solution? Because maybe we'll set up some type of chart that somebody can use. As a matter of fact, I had Icy on not too long ago, and she gave us a checklist for medical roadside emergencies, where the different gauzes and solutions and those type of things that you can use for for quick, short roadside emergencies. So I thought it was pretty cool. So we'll work on trying to do something like that as well. So check us out. So Frizz, now we getting off. We because you got a high metabolism and you one of them guys who go by. You don't have to do a whole lot of things. You're still young right now, young whippersnapper.
Whippersnapper.
So you don't have to do a whole lot of crazy stuff. So I'm assuming physically we're good to go. Medically we're good to go. Your bike wise seem like you got a good setup on your bike as far as tools and roadside emergencies and those type of things. And we're gonna talk about it because he had to use them. And the way he packed out on clothes. So we take out the gate, because obviously, being with Breed, y'all got a bunch of little crazy commitments when y'all get on that road. Everybody wants to see you. Everybody wants to pull up on you. So the first day coming out the gate, your strategy was what? Jacksonville to where?
So we were going to Houston first day. So we going straight to Texas.
What can I expect highway-wise? Say if I'm coming behind you tomorrow, what should I expect as far as the I-10 coming from Jacksonville to Houston? Any issues, anything I need to be concerned with?
We didn't run into any issues per se until we got to just before we come out of Louisiana into Texas. They've got some construction going on. I don't know if they're building bridges or whatever, but they've got some rerouting of the in certain spots. And then just at the same spot where we ran into that construction, there was a truck probably about another mile and a half up the road from the construction, still within that construction zone, that got caught on fire or whatever. It was on the side of the road off to the right, that was engulfed in flames. It was put out by the time we got there, but first responders were still there on scene, whatever, dealing with that situation. So it backed us up probably. I'm pretty sure it was a good mile long of congested traffic, but that was the first spot that we actually had any with the road.
Really, any real issues?
Yeah.
So it was something that I wanted to think about. That first stretch when you guys got up the road, when did you have? Wasn't it? Didn't Pap have a tire issue?
Pat didn't have a tire issue. He had an issue with his oil. He was
spinning
his breather.
Yeah, that's right.
So he had just got I guess a service done to his bike at Harley the day prior to us leaving. And you know how it is when you do these oil changes, is you never get the right amount of oil in it. You either got a little bit too much, you got a little bit.
Right.
So in this case, he had too much. So nowhere else for it to go except for out to breathe there. It was hissing and pissing, and he got to my ear, and I see Pat down here. Here's all this coming from. So we got to Tallahassee. No, we got just outside of Tallahassee by the time the first Harley was gonna open up at 10 o'clock. And we stopped in over there, and the brothers over there took a look at it, and it was like, they opened up the oil cap, and it was like, there's way too much in here. We could take some out, whatever, and clean the air filter out for you, but you're probably still gonna have some blow by until it actually levels out and gets to the right spot where it needs to be at. So just monitor it. So they cleaned us up over there, and we hit the road. But again, man, Pat's still concerned about it. So he's looking down the whole ride.
And not until you get somewhere clean all that mess up, man. Right. You'll always be thinking, because it takes a minute now. I've been there, done that. Yeah, it takes a minute.
And I think that's another testament to being able to do some of the stuff yourself. If you knew personally, like, okay, maybe I put too much oil in this, I know this is what this is, and we keep on pushing.
Right.
It's not gonna to stop the ride. It's nothing major to have to worry about. But
Typically on stuff like that, you don't learn it till you make the mistake.
hey, so this was
Yeah,
experience, right?
it don't matter what your boy tell you until you do. Sometimes I ain't gonna say stupid, but sometimes goofy. You make a goofy mistake, man. It's a good goofy mistake because it's a learning lesson. It makes you better, and you be able to diagnose things in the future because you can just say things. Hey, man, you blah blah blah. Next thing you know, you're like, okay, and you forget and you don't think nothing about it. But
Mhm.
when it happens to you,
It's all man.
yeah, like
I'm gonna do.
God damn, man.
He was like, man, we gonna have to turn around. I don't know what
Yeah,
like
yeah,
in my head, and it's like, bro, you got to check engine light? No.
yeah. You good, baby.
Noises? No. The bike running fine? Yeah. It's like, man,
Keep it pushing.
pushing.
Yeah,
It's hard
keep it
all over
pushing.
the place. You can go trade one in.
that part. And I just see many of them do it. Matter of fact, I want to say I-10 to the end. I think I've actually had two, two so far
Yeah.
that have just. One of them was a. I'm not. They weren't a husband and wife, but they were a couple, and I think they were riding and they got to Pensacola and they were having issues. And I remember it was an overnight thing, and then the dude say, "Hey man, how much for that ultra up there?"
Yeah.
And I say, "Well, y'all get ready to cancel the trip." He say, "No, Sarge, we finna
Yeah.
cancel. I'm
Yeah.
gonna get another bike, man." Push up. I said, "That's how players get out, man.
I-
That's how players get out."
that happened to me. That's how I
Yeah,
ended up with my highway bike. I
that's
was doing the Four Corners run last year, and
yeah.
out the gate, out the first corner, coming out of Key West, my stator went out on my bike, and they didn't have any parts on deck. I was like, man, I got to keep going. We on the time frame.
Damn,
Uh, what
you
y'all
just hey, you just wanted another bike, man.
have my wife tell it. That's the story.
Hey, hey. So check this out. So we get off the first day after we had a little issue, and that's no, I consider as a really minor issue. That's really nothing. So the first day we make it into Houston. Any problems getting into Houston that time afternoon, time of evening?
No, none whatsoever. We got to Houston. Um, I forget the little town. There was a town just outside of Houston, shy
I-
of. It was
Is
probably
it
about,
Bay? Is it what is it called? Bayard?
was
Baytown? Is it Baytown maybe?
I can't remember right
Hmm.
offhand, but we stopped shy of Houston and actually linked up with some club brothers. And we got something to eat, and we ended up actually bedding down at one of their houses, which was a blessing. It's good to be able to have people all over the place, and having that network. Uh,
Facts.
so shoot, that's saved us a hotel fee for the night. Anywhere from $100 to $200.
Hey, I tell everybody make relationships, man. It's gonna save you on that highway.
Uh, we went to this was in Crosby, Texas.
Okay.
Yeah, so we stayed the night in Crosby. Um, we actually had to backtrack slightly, so we went down to 10 and met up with them at an actual restaurant, and then that's where I pinned our stop point because I knew we were going to come back off the 10. And uh, had I put us back on, like taking the GPS, it would have took us further than where we stopped that night. So
Mhm.
we actually backtracked, went to his house, stayed overnight, and then went back to the restaurant in the morning and got back on 10 from there to keep going to make sure that we had that consecutive.
So what time did y'all pull out that second day?
The second day we left Houston, I think we got on the ground about 7 o'clock,
Yeah, about 7 a.m. Okay.
7.
Okay.
And from Houston, our next stop, we were trying to get to El Paso.
Okay. That's a decent run.
Little
That's a
hump.
real decent run. Yeah. And
Yeah,
and I'm gonna say it's a decent run this time of year because me and you both know in that desert it is cold, man.
yeah.
Hey,
It is.
don't the desert cold hit a little different?
It's way different. I'm
It
telling
hit different, man.
you run through like these little pockets. Like you could tell, especially at night, you could tell when you're going to a spot where the mountain ranges are close. And then when them jokers start to spread out a little bit, because man, that temperature change is just like boom, it hits you.
Quick on you, real quick on you. So during that stretch of highway, and that's a long stretch to be honest. Once you leave Houston to El Paso, that's a get down.
Yeah,
In most cases, that's a whole day get down.
it is a whole day. It
So
was a whole day.
yeah, so any issues out there, any road issues, any bike issues, anything that y'all had to deal with unusual?
No, so Houston, leaving that second day was pretty much that was the only day that we actually caught rain. So leaving Houston that morning, it was raining. It wasn't bad, it was just a light, constant rain that lasted really until you got out of the inner city, and then once you get on the stretch past the city between San Antonio and Houston, it cleared up for the most part. It was just like a foggy, like a mist air. But again, it wasn't too cold. Had my winter gloves on, but nothing was plugged in. Like it was cold enough just to have your winter gloves on and stuff like that, and it wasn't too wet to where you had to worry about things getting saturated. Uh, so we are good.
That's
Um,
what's up.
Pap actually bought an extra pair of boots because coming out of Houston, his feet were soaked. He had the wrong shoes on.
Oh,
Well,
really? Because of the rain?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I can imagine wet boots and cold air, man. It's just not a good mix, man. Yeah, that ain't cool at all. Do you wear specifically yourself in the winter? Do you wear heated socks or anything like that, or you just wear wool socks or just regular socks?
I had regular socks this trip. I do have wool socks, but I didn't think it was going to get cold enough to need them, so I didn't pack them. I wish I had some heated socks when we left El Paso.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah, man. I do keep so I keep hand warmers on the bike. Those stay
yeah,
in my back,
yeah.
and I'm glad I had them. I had them because when we left El Paso that third morning, uh, the weather report showed like low of 40, high of like 70 something. I was like, oh, we're gonna be good. And we got rolling. That temperature dropped. This said I think 38 on the bike. And then it got to the point it was like, my hands are frozen. I can't feel my hands. So I'm reaching down, grabbing the engine case and grabbing the muffler and stuff. But I couldn't do nothing about my toes.
No, man, I ain't gonna do that.
I'm
That's psychological.
trying to ride with my
Yeah,
trying
yeah.
to ride with my right foot next to the exhaust and stuff, and then trying to shove my left foot, you know, up underneath the horn and stuff, trying to get it to warm up. And I was like, man, this ain't working. So we got we got to our first gas stop, and I broke them hand warmers out, and I shoved those things down in the boot, putting that layer of socks over top of them, and man, shoot, it was beyond cold. It was freezing. Like my toes was.
Hey man, I remember y'all a couple times on gas stops, man. I saw a couple of videos, man. I was like, man, it sucked to be them.
Yeah.
Hey,
It,
but you just gotta laugh about it and keep pushing, man.
what tripped me out though, so you could tell the difference between somebody traveling and the locals. Like all the locals pulling up to the gas stop had shorts and t-shirts on. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, it's cold out here, right?
yeah.
You know, y'all know something I don't know. This cop pulled up and he had a t-shirt on and his tactical vest, and some pants. I was like, man, what's the forecast supposed to be like for today? Maybe I missed something on the maps or something. And he was like, oh, it warms up pretty quickly around here. He's like, about
Y-
another 2 hours in the 70s.
Yeah, it's funny that you said that because I think coming back a couple years ago, I was coming back from the West Coast, and I think it was the first week of April, and man, I was freezing out there in the desert. I was east of El Paso, maybe around Ozona, somewhere in that area there, and I was pulling to a lonely little gas station, and I was telling her, I said, "Good Lord, it's freezing out there." She say, "Oh, honey, it's the desert. It'll be about 90 degrees in about 2 hours." She said, "Don't worry about it." Yeah, she said it'll be hot as heck in about 2 hours.
Before we got to Arizona, I was stripping.
Hmm.
Yeah, I had to come up out of it. I had my heated suit on, two long sleeve shirts on and stuff. I was again only thing at that point still, even with the suit was fine, but I had to have my hands plugged in at that time. So my hands
Hmm.
were in it and my feet were freezing. I still had the double layers of socks with the heated insole, the hand warmers stuffed in the toes and stuff. But shoot, man, by the time we got to the border of New Mexico and Arizona, it was like, oh my God, I gotta come up out of this stuff.
Oh wow.
So yeah, that temperature change is quick,
Yeah, it
quick.
don't play around, man. It don't play around. So we get up in El Paso. We leave Houston at 7. We get in El Paso. What time did you guys make it El Paso? That y'all made it before dark?
No, the sun was setting right just before we got to El Paso. We got to I think probably about 40 miles outside of El Paso before the sun actually set. So I think it was 8 o'clock ish or something like that when we got in. I don't, I didn't keep track of like the time frames of when we hit each spot, but for the most part, uh, let's see here.
Just in
Okay,
general. Just in general.
it was in general probably about
Yeah.
7 o'clock. It was a good
Yeah.
run.
Because I think y'all pulled up. I think y'all did a little shopping in at Barnett Harley Davidson. Did a
Uh,
little hanging out in there.
way back. That was on the way
Oh,
back.
okay, on the way back. Okay, okay. So day two, any issues with the bikes? Anything road conditions? Anything else other than cold mornings and warmer days?
That's it. That was it.
Okay,
I
okay.
think time of the year is probably one of the better times to go. I went through El Paso back in June, and it was
It'll
complete.
beat you down.
It was completely different. I mean, my club brother that I was with that time, he would dunk his shirt in the sinks at the rest stop. So
Yeah,
that
it will beat you down, man.
before we get a mile down the road, that thing's bone dry.
Yeah, it'll be it'll. I don't know. I don't know. Somebody on here tell me, man, going across there in the winter or the summer, what's the preference, man? But I know, to me, in the summer, if you don't prepare yourself, if you don't, you know, if you're a big guy, if you don't take down a couple of pounds, if you don't drink and hydrate really, really well, if you don't get sleep, if you don't eat properly, man, that summer coming across there will beat you. It
The
will
summer
beat you up.
a whole lot more. You have to take a lot more calculated steps.
Yeah, you do. You do.
It's
Somebody said winter's better.
winter is a whole
I
lot.
think it is. Yeah, I think the summertime. I mean, both sides could be dangerous if you don't prepare properly. But to me, it's just something about that desert in the summertime, man. If you playing games, you'll be in the back of somebody's
Take off so many clothes.
ambulance.
You can only take off so much stuff.
Oh, for sure. You can only take so much off, and taking too much off is dangerous in itself.
It's too
You
right.
know.
If you
Yeah.
run across there in those short sleeve shirts and stuff, you
Oh
get
boy, you better stop.
quick.
You better stop.
Uh, man, I'd go this time of year over anything else. Yeah.
So okay. So day two now, everything is good. And we, it's fair to say we 2/3 of the way there now. So
Yeah.
now I'm looking. Now I'm looking. I'm saying, okay. I wake up the next morning. You shoot me the glimpse. I say, okay, man, they finna go get it, get it. So El Paso that morning. What time did y'all leave? Around about 6 or 7 again.
Mm, yep. Yeah. About
About
6.
6 or 7.
Yeah.
And this time now, y'all trying to whip it, trying to get all the way to the end.
All the way to the end. Yeah. We had a goal to make it 3 days out and then spend 4 days coming back. With going west, it was, in my opinion, it was better mentally because you're gaining an hour at each one of those time zones, right? So, uh, as opposed to on the way back, it's getting darker quicker. On the way there, you're riding into the sun, so it's like
True.
that day is longer for you. So mentally, it's like I still got daylight. I'm a pound. I don't even look at really the time to know what time of day it is. I just know my next gas stop, that's going to put me out 200 miles out of 1,000 miles. I know I got
Right.
5 gas stops. Boom.
Right.
I'm at my second gas stop, third. So, hey, we only got 2 more gas stops to go. Let's go. And then you start to see that symbol. Dang, what time is it?
Yeah.
Then that's the first time I'm like mentally, okay, it's at this time. This is what time we'll probably arrive here. But man, I just get out there and ride, man. I don't pay attention to that.
Something I was thinking about. You said that you normally like grab sandwiches and stuff like that at a gas station or whatever you eat. So what was your eating plan out there? Do you eat consistently as you go, or are you one of those guys that just eat at the end of the ride
Both.
at the end of the night?
I'm gonna grab something to eat. I keep snacks in the tour pack. I've got granola bars and trail mix and candies and all sorts of stuff in my tour bag. Uh, but I'm a grazer, man. I'll
Yeah,
eat
yeah,
all day.
yeah. Like I said, them young whippersnappers, man. Those old guys, man, we gotta have strategies and stuff. We can, we can't be drinking too much coffee. We can't be, we can't be
So,
doing none of that stuff.
Pap he's a small guy too, but he's a little bit older than me. But his eating habits on the road were completely different from mine. Whereas we would stop and I'd get something to eat, he'd grab a coffee. Now, if I grabbed a coffee, we definitely stopping.
For sure. Yeah,
We stopping, and
yeah.
that was where we traded off in our habits. But then at the end of the day, when we got in, it was just like, okay, now this is like the culmination of everything. Now we're gonna get us a real meal, uh,
Hmm.
and eat for real. Uh, and so,
Okay, okay. So El Paso to Phoenix. What should we expect? I know you're still going. You're going to be going through some mountains, some different climates. Was it any issues going through that area? Cold, hot,
no,
construction, crazy traffic, anything?
the weather was beautiful. Between Tucson and Phoenix is the only point where the traffic got really congested. We had some brothers from the Phoenix chapter met us about halfway past Tucson going into Phoenix, and that's when the lane splitting began. It,
Yeah, yeah.
the
Hey, did
law,
y'all link? Did y'all link up with? Did preach reach out link up with y'all?
yeah,
It
we
was
linked
preach.
preach,
Yeah,
yep,
yeah.
yep, brother
Shout
preach,
out to Preach, man. That's my dog. Preach Breed.
preach.
GQ, I saw y'all linked up with GQ too, man.
Linked up with GQ. I had a big old meal down there at
Yeah,
what was that? I can't remember the name of that restaurant, but every time we go down there, man, I get that loaded
yeah.
potato and that thing. Whoo.
That's what's popping.
Well,
Hey, it's good to know people who live in good cities where they can make good food.
hey, GQ really wrong for that. He knew we was on the road. He gonna take us over there. Know that, man. The
Yeah,
thing, it was a fight getting to Baton Rouge.
yeah, yeah. That's what's happening. So they get y'all through. So they pick you up. They get y'all through Phoenix, and from this point,
My brother
from
Slow, what's up?
yeah, Slowpoke, what's happening? I ain't seen Slowpoke in a long time. Slowpoke, he's a little alumni too, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Big dog. So Phoenix now, Phoenix to Cali. To me, that's an easy ride at that point. You know,
It, it is.
it's very cool. It's very beautiful. It's nice.
It's,
Is
it's,
that fair?
that's the end of the route too.
That's the end of the route, man. You coming in and out of the mountains and whatnot. Any issues back in that area? Now you still got to be careful once in a while on gas station stops. Am I correct?
Gas station stops get a little scarce, but I use this app. I don't, man. Let's see. A brother of mine put me onto this, and I used it religiously. It's called iExit. Let's see. Center one right there.
I
Ooh,
exit.
called iExit.
Okay, bet.
I don't know if it's on Android or not, but on Apple, iExit will give you the closest interstate. So if we're traveling on I-95,
Mm-hmm.
type in there. Okay, let's say we're gonna go south, and then it'll give me all the gas stops and their exits, and it'll tell me how far they are.
Sweet. Hey,
Right?
do me a favor. If you don't mind, after this is over, or I'll do it. It doesn't matter. Put that app in the comment section,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
and then I'll put in the link. I wanna take a look at that. Also, something I did notice that you had on your phone was my radar.
Yes, my radars.
Hmm. Talk
Uh,
to us about it.
so my radar, that app there, it
Yeah,
track the weather.
I
And
swear by it.
right, and I utilize that to either confirm or deny what the uh, the Weather Channel app is saying. When
Hmm.
you ride into specific areas, you have that difference in either whether it's the temperature or uh,
Precipitation.
precipitation. Yeah,
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
use the my radar as just another confirmation as okay, this storm system or this is what it's looking like in this, and this is the path that stuff is moving.
Hmm.
Uh, you know, I like it.
Matter of fact, my radar in the summer is the funk in the south. I'm gonna tell you, because here it is. Florida is the sunshine state, but brother, we have Everglades for a reason. It rains like nobody's business in Florida. So anything that's got to do with the Panhandle, anything that's got to do with Alabama, Georgia, and coastal Carolina, it's rained like crazy. So that My Radar app, man, I'm cloud chasing like it's nobody's business with that bad boy, and that bad boy is very accurate.
It is very
Yeah,
accurate.
very accurate, man. So I love it. The wintertime I don't know as much, because I don't really use it like that. But the summertime, I know that thing ain't playing no games,
Right.
and you can set your clock by it. I can guarantee you this.
Oh yeah.
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 So that's what's up. So
And then it
so
gives you the notifications too, like so while you're riding in different areas, it'll give you updates for that specific area. And it'd be like storm system detected, uh, rain possible 5 minutes from now, or whatever. And if it changes, then the message will come up and it'll give you an update and stuff like that. So it kind of tracks where you're at all times, as long as you have the app open in the background, or you have your notifications set on it. So I like that.
that's what's up. So okay, so let's take it in. So now we're gonna take it in to Kelly. We lane splitting, we doing all kind of crazy stuff. Any issues that we need to be concerned about or need to consider when going into LA or LA County?
So if you like to ride slightly over the speed limit, I'd say crossing that border, bring it down. Bring it down. Uh, really, we we had no issues, like I said, man, with the road conditions or anything on the whole entire trip going to Cali. We ran into that one little section in Louisiana with construction and some other little construction areas, but the traffic at the time that we went through was so free flowing that it didn't bother us whatsoever. The opposite side, you can see like, dang, that traffic just goes as far as you can see, like all the lights and stuff. They were congested on the opposite side, but our direction of travel was fine. Um, we, I don't advocate for speeding, but I don't do the speed limit all the time. Okay,
Man,
so
Bree don't never do no damn speed limit.
yeah, we
Them
breathe.
boys, they never do no damn speed limit.
So the only spots that I would say we had to watch out for is Tallahassee. Man, I've
That's facts. That's facts. Fool
had
around.
so many law enforcement out on 10. I said, do they
Well,
have
Tallahassee is the state capital, so the state troopers they hang out in the area, and that's where the state trooper academy is. So anything, I would say, 10 miles prior to Tallahassee, and then another about 5, 10 miles outside of Tallahassee, beware. Just don't even play with it.
not even play?
Don't even play. They're gonna get you.
They
Yeah.
were a mile to a mile apart. I said, hey, and it'd be two of them, one
Oh,
facing
they
that.
ain't playing no games because they
Yeah,
too damn lazy to get off the 10.
easy.
Yeah, they gonna stay on the 10 and stay posted up.
Yeah, and
So
then the same crossing into California. Once you cross the border into California, that was the only other time that we actually saw a high presence of police force, um, and that was only for a short bit. Um, but I grabbed me a rabbit. You get one of those vehicles that like to go out there and get it,
yes, sir. Let them go get it.
go out,
Yeah,
keep them in sight, and
yeah.
hey,
Cause y'all didn't do too much. Y'all didn't do too much night pounding. Y'all kept it
I
as
really
much day. And in the wintertime, I suggest that anyway, man. If you can help it from the night pounding, because there's too much stuff. Deer come out a lot during the wintertime. Am I correct?
the amount of deer I saw on this trip is ridiculous. I mean,
Yeah,
even from just leaving my house in North Carolina, going down to Georgia, I stopped counting after about 30 of them. And
yeah. It's just
the
It's
next morning, coming down to meet you, I stopped counting after about 20, 30 of them. And it was just like, dang, these jokers are.
yeah.
But I think it's the time of year it is that breeding or that mating season for them
Mm-hmm.
is over. So they're not so active more so
Mm-hmm.
as they are just out grazing and stuff. They're not getting spooked off the side of the road or running from something they're trying to get from one place to the other. They're really just
Right.
in the areas I think that uh, they their habitat is at, where they live at. Um, so I mean, you see them the whole trip, especially this time of year right now. They were
Yeah. Yeah.
everywhere.
Beware, man. Them damn deer, man. I'm telling you, just beware. I know the
That's
Bells. They
I don't
they've got
ride in that
some.
lane either.
What's that now?
That's another good reason not to ride in that right lane either.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to be as far away from where they're at.
That is possible. Matter of fact, I try my best. Me personally, my sweet spot is normally starting about 4 a.m. And then I want to try to be off the road by dusk. Uh,
Mhm.
you know, sometimes some of us ain't as with the PTO, we have to kind of push the envelope a little bit. Yeah, you only got so much leave, man. So you have to do what you got to do sometimes. And then obviously there might be weather concerns, mechanical concerns. So let's do this, man. Before we go into our last segment, let's do this quick. That the tire issue. I know that was on the way going back, but let's
Yeah,
speak on it if you don't mind.
yeah, for sure. So we got to Cali, uh, and we I did another bike inspection. Just checking the bike over, and everything was fine. And I didn't see anything that was any concern to me. Tire had plenty of tread on it. Uh, it should have been enough to get me back to the house. So it was nothing that was a pressing issue. But leaving Cali and coming back east, the road conditions, even though it's the same route, the road conditions are completely different. That eastbound lane is so ate up, and there's potholes all over the place, and the road surface isn't the smoothest. It's almost like compact gravel. It's real rough, and that coupled with the speed that you're carrying and the temperature at that time of day, I think it wore away at that tire so much. It looked like I was doing burnouts when we got to the gas station, like
Oh wow, wow.
a ring around the whole entire thing. Uh, it really, I we pulled up to that gas stop. We were probably about 100 and something miles outside of Phoenix in a spot called Quartzsite or something like that. Quartzit. I'm not sure how it's pronounced, but that's where I actually noticed it was my tire. We stopped at a gas station, and I was like, "Man, somebody's stuff is smoking. You can smell the rubber."
Hmm.
Pap was like, "Man, look at your tire. That's you."
Oh, you the one smoking. you you was cooking.
I'm like, "Oh shoot!" So it's about 4 o'clock at that time. So I'm trying to see, can we make it to Phoenix in time to get to a dealership before they close? Is there anyone that's close by us? Can we backtrack and get to one? Uh, and the closest dealership was Phoenix. I think it
Was
was
that
in
Chandler?
somewhere. I think it was good.
Yeah, Chandler Harley Davidson.
Yeah, and they were
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, our service is closed today, anyways. Even if you were to get here," I was like, "Dang." And then they're closed tomorrow too because it's President's Day. I was like,
Man,
"Dang."
hey, let me say this, man. Let me say this real quick. I normally don't do this kind of stuff, but Chandler, man, every time I go through Phoenix, man, y'all got more excuses than a truck got pulled, man. I mean, I was like, bruh.
Try that again. I said, "Hey, listen, we just two brothers traveling. I'm trying to."
Yeah, man, they always got excuses on why they can't get something done. Matter of fact, when I go through that, man, most of the time I have to hit one of my Arizona Soul brothers up, and they normally have to get me with one of their personal mechanics to get it done, man.
And this is where that network comes in.
I'm telling you, man, because you were stuck like Chuck when playing around with them.
I would have been stuck. Yeah. Uh, our brothers in Phoenix, man, they happen to have an extra rear rim with a tire already mounted on it. When we got there, it was like, "Shit, all you got to do is put it on, really." So we got there, pulled the bike up into the clubhouse, and changed the tire. I changed the tire on there. Uh, I strapped my rim to the back seat, and we kept it pushing the next morning. Still on schedule. Um, we made it to Barnett's. That's when we made it to Barnett's.
Barnett, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Next week we made it to Barnett's, and their service, they were open, and they took care of us over there.
Yeah.
Got my tire put back on the rim. Got a new tire put back on the rim. And actually, one of the club brothers down there took the old rim and was gonna get that back to Phoenix for me. So I
You
was like,
shipped it on back.
yeah, yeah,
That's what's popping, man. I'm telling you, these relationships that we make up and down these highways, man, are so valuable. They are so valuable, man. Because without that network, man, things get real ugly, real expensive, and real time consuming real fast. Is that fair?
it is. It is.
So let's do this, Frizz. Let's bring it into home, man. Let's talk about takeaways from the trip. So, Sarge, you've never been across the country ever before. What would be some takeaways that you can give to me to prepare myself to be able to have a safe trip?
I think route planning, even though you know you're going on a specific route and you only got to follow that one direction, but having a plan of action as far as your stops, knowing how far physically you can go in a day, uh, physically and mentally, how far you can travel in a day, and then planning out those. Okay, I plan on making it here, but if I can't make it to this exact endpoint, I know I've got a spot before that I can stop at here. Or if I feel good when I get here, can I continue to push it to this point, whatever. But having your route planned in regards to what you can do per day, I think is key. Um, I sent Pat a PowerPoint just about, it's something that was quick, that I do. I was like, okay, we're going to travel. We want to go from here to here. And then along this route, we know we have chapters at this spot, this spot, this spot, or we know we have brothers at this spot, this spot, this spot. So if we leave at this time, we should be able to make it to this point by this time and meet up with this person. Take a couple, take a couple minutes and chill with them, and then we can get from here to here and chill with this person. We know we should get here about this time. So while you're traveling, you're hitting those time marks and you're staying on key, then you should know, okay, I'm going to be able to make it to this hard stop by this specific time if everything else has been going accordingly.
Man, hold. Hey, it's brother, pleased to meet you, man. Because there's some brothers who are so OCD, so deliberate, so calculated. Man, I heard you just said you sent him a PowerPoint presentation.
It was a quick little Word document.
How we finna do this, man? Cause we ain't gonna be wasting. Hey, we gonna eat from this time to this time. We gonna meet GQ. I'm gonna say it's those kind of.
It wasn't that.
But it's the kind of brothers on the road, man, that are like you, that are like me, and then we got these kind of brothers. They gonna take about an hour at the gas station. They gonna run about 100 in between the gas station. They gonna take 30 minutes of the potato chip line, man.
Time we get to the gas station, they the ones to take off the helmet.
Yeah, man. They gotta play with the Bluetooth and yeah, man. So you one of them dudes, huh? You one of them dudes.
Get there.
Yeah.
Gas stop wasn't part of the op order.
That's what's up. What's up.
It wasn't a rest and mingle spot. This was just a gas stop. Get the gas.
Right. That's what's up. That's what's happening. So anyway, I'm sorry I didn't mean to interrupt, man. We'll finish your thought.
I forgot where we was at, but
you were talking about planning your route. I think it was in between planning the route and
the ride. So just knowing what you can do in the day and trying to accomplish that. And if you accomplish that, you're gonna stay on your course. And if you can exceed it, then you're gonna exceed your expectation in that ride, or have more time to play somewhere else, or take that extra time at those gas stops, But if you know that you want to get from point A to point B by the end of the night, and you don't want to be on the road past a certain time, okay, what time do you need to start at to make that happen? How much wiggle room do you have the next morning to play with before you need to get on the road to get to that next spot?
Right. Well, I saw something that was big that helped you guys out is obviously having tools on the road.
Yeah.
Having great tools, having good roadside emergency stuff on your bike was really, really good. Would you suggest also having a network of people that are knowing, like, 'cause let's be honest, sometimes some of us think we're real damn important. Man, I can't tell nobody where I'm at on the road because somebody will come get me or whatever. But having a good network, in my opinion, and people know where you're at, where you're going to be, to me, it's like having a pit crew. What you think about that?
For sure. I agree 100%. There's nothing like being out in the middle of nowhere and knowing somebody else has got their eyes on you in case something happens. They see that glint stop moving for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
It's not in the vicinity of no gas stop. The phone starts ringing. Hey, bro, you good?
Yeah. It's two people that will always do that to me. First, my wife. Shout out to the wife.
Yes.
And that dang Kodak, man.
The most hated.
Hey, the most hated, man. I tell you, hey, boy, if I'm on the road and I stop more than 8 minutes, man, Kodak is going to shoot me my glimpse and put a question mark.
Yeah, is this where you at?
Yeah, this where you at? What you doing?
If not, you either need to refresh that joke or you need to let me know.
That part, man. That's a good thing, man. That network Just to make sure that you're good, to be checking in on you, to be able to have a friend of a friend to make sure you're straight, man. I think
And then,
is
man, it gives
paramount.
you a little breath of fresh air too. When you're riding through some spots, you might get to that spot where it's just like, oh, it's so mundane this ride, and I'm bored now. And then you ride through a spot where you might have that connect. Nothing may be wrong, but they might pop up on you and just ride with you for a little bit. It's just
That
like,
part.
oh, and you got rejuvenated now. You
Yeah,
got a little bit
yeah.
of, you know.
I'm gonna tell you who the best at it is. Is that dang GQ,
Yeah,
Reef, Preach. Man, those guys are the best at it, pulling up on you. Big Country out of Phoenix, man. Those guys are the best at pulling up on you, man. As my man Big Country would say, buy a tank, ride a tank. That's
but
what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. Any last thoughts, man? Anything at all, man, that you would like to leave us with before we kill this interview? Because I know you got things to do, man. You just got home.
yeah, just got home. Got to get some work done now. I got to pay for the trip.
Hello, hello.
But man, no, for anybody that's looking to do it, just go out there and do it. You could sit here and plan and plan and plan and plan, but until you actually put it into action, it's just gonna stay a plan. So I don't believe I'm not one that sits here and dwells on making a plan. I'll formulate a thought and then hey, let's run with it. Whatever happens, happens. So we'll have to deal with that situation when it arises.
That's what's up, man. I'm gonna tell you, man. Big Frizz, man, he had a lot of crazy stuff going on, but man, he made it look so easy. That tells me one thing, man, is when you're prepared. When you're
Yeah.
prepared, when you practice, because you're gonna do it the way you practice it. Is that fair, sir?
Yes, it is.
Well, brother, I appreciate you for caring enough to share your ride with us, man. I know, again, you guys have other commitments that you have to do with your organization, but to do this, to give your time, that's why I tell man people this is so important what we're doing. Because I guess when people, so just the same old stuff. We talk about the same. Look here, bro. Motorcycle riding is the same old stuff. You feel me?
Mhm.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. But
Not,
we
you're
do
not
this.
the wheel. You're just trying to find a way to make it better.
There it is, man. We're trying to make it better. We're trying to provide a platform for people to be able to motorcycle great and to be able to do it safely. Because if we brag about it, we talk about it, and we're not teaching people how to do it properly, then we're being irresponsible. Is that fair?
Yeah, for sure. And again, that was like I told you, it was one of the reasons why I wanted to come and do your specific I-10 to the end. Breed and other chapters, other clubs or whatever all over, they do the ride and they get their little patch or whatever. It's not really for the patch, but it was just to support what you got going on, man. I saw
That part. I appreciate that, sir.
the community and uh, I got to be a part of it. I had to come show that love,
For
and
sure.
I appreciate you looking out for us the whole ride. You know what I'm saying? Hey, even when the ride was over, it was like, hey man, just throw your glimpse up. Let me track you on the way home. Make sure you're good and stuff. Just having somebody in your corner that cares.
Yeah.
You know, it's a good look, and I
I,
appreciate you.
I appreciate that, bro. I am my brother's keeper, man, at all times. Yeah, that's what's up. Well, friends, man, I appreciate you, man. We're going to let you get out of here, but, bro, much love. I'll see you soon on the highway, man.
For
In the
sure,
meantime, hey, bro, keep it motorcycling, you dig?
cycling you
Out of
did.
here. Yes, sir. Peace. Hey, man, so there you got it, man. Big Frizz, man. Fayetteville Red Brill. Let's give him a round of applause. Hey, man, so I'm working on it harder and harder and harder, our Elite Podcast, because this is what we're going to be continue to do, man. We're going to continue to teach each other how to motorcycle great, man. I'm going to be having some cool guests on coming up here soon. I'm still working on some other projects as far as equipment. I'm going to do another series with my man Jay out of Performance on Two Wheels. We're going to be talking about some other different subjects on just some individual things that you could be doing on your bike before the ride, during the ride, post-ride type stuff. So, again, we're going to be having a lot more guests on, talking about a lot more subjects when they're talking about motorcycle riding, because let's be honest, man, for most people, next month is officially their riding season. Now, I know you're going to say, Sarge, all season is, yeah, I know, man, I know. But let's be honest, for the people who live up north who are not getting it like that, next month, as soon as that sun come out and that snow starts to melt a little bit, man, they're going to be out and they're going to be moving. So what we're going to try to do is, again, to provide a platform for us to have refreshers, for us to learn, and us to tighten up our skills each and every year, just like in anything else, professional sports, anything else. Even that you played a sport for many, many years, there's nothing wrong with tightening up your game, practicing, learning something new, going back and reevaluating what you're doing. And also, by the way, let me say this, man, before it slips my mind. That's why we hug each other. That's why we stay prayed up. My man, Slider, out of Born Losers out of Savannah, man, he just minded his business a few days ago, and he's riding his bike. And he's at a stop, man. And long story short, he was hit from behind by another car. They hit another car and knocked him clean off his bike. You know, my man is good. He's doing well. I talked to him yesterday. He got some bumps and bruises and some other little issues, some things that are very minor compared to what could have truly happened to him that day on that bike. He was minding his business. He wasn't even doing anything. He was hit from behind. But what I take away from that, and what me and him take away from that, is he had proper equipment on. Man, proper equipment is non-negotiable, man. I'm telling you, if you love anyone in your family, or anyone in your family loves you, and you want to be around for them, man, you got to have the right equipment on, man. Again, some people going to do what they're going to do. I feel you're going to do what you're going to do. But understand, if you're not wearing the proper equipment and something goes wrong, you lessen your chances and opportunities to mitigate risks. So just something to think about, man. Proper gear, proper equipment. And I think today, my man Slider is in really good shape because he had on really good gear when that unfortunate incident happened to him, man. So, Slider, man, we're going to keep praying for you, bro. Get well. Because we know you're going to come out the gate bigger, stronger, faster, and better than before. Also, Iron Elite on the I-10 to the end. I'm working on it right now because we're closing in on the 200th rider. We're going to have another anniversary down here in Jacksonville to celebrate the 200th patch. So it's coming soon. Well, I'm looking at doing that in tail end of April, maybe beginning of May, somewhere in that time frame, to celebrate the 200th patch anniversary, man. I appreciate all the people who've supported I-10 to the end. And I know, man, it's just a patch. No, man, it's so much bigger than the patch. It's the social experiment, man. It's teaching people how to do what you just did. It's encouraging people. It's inspiring people through your actions, through your commentary, through you sharing things with us, man. It just makes for us a better motorcycle community, you dig? I'm just telling you now, people who get involved in it, they feel so great because they know they've got the opportunity to show and to give to other people the gift that they've been given. And that's how to be able to ride the best ride. So I encourage you to participate in I-10 to the end. If you want to support I-10 to the end with a Cash App donation or with a Zelle, because what we do with that money is we also put it into a pool where we do pay it forward for those people who are inspired to do it. And they say, hey, Sarge, I had such a great time doing it. I want to encourage somebody else to do it. So I want to put a PIF or pay it forward down for another rider. I've had people pay it forward for, hey, I want to do it with a male and female couple. I want to do it with somebody who's coming from the West Coast. I want to do it with somebody coming from the East Coast. I want to do it from somebody from my club. Any type of way that we can make it happen, we will with a pay it forward, because we take those donations, man, and then we put it back into the program because we want to keep the program growing. Also, we put together now a link for the I-10 to the end registration. So if you're interested in doing it, we do have the link on the Iron Elite page in the pent up section. If you can't find it, just inbox me and I'll shoot you the link, and you can go on to the link and you can go ahead and order your ride. It's very easy to do. The link takes you less than 5 minutes to do it. And the link has the different tiers of the package. There's a merch link as well. So for those who made the ride that you want, say the shirt or a patch or the keychain or the certificate, however way you want to do it, you can go onto the link and you can order what you want, carte blanche, to to be able to memorialize your experience with the I-10 to the end. Now, the only caveat to that is that you have to be a certified. It has to be a certified I-10 to the end ride. So that means that you have to have a serial number with us. So don't go ordering a bunch of stuff over there, man, and you got no serial, because what we're going to do is we're going to validate it. So you have to have completed the ride in order to get that merch. Now, Iron Elite shirts, we do have those available on the link. You can order, anybody can order an Iron Elite shirt, the rider shirt, and that's the beige shirt with the black neck with the blue Iron Elite patch. Anybody can order that. That's the Ground Pounders Reunion shirt. Anybody can order the Iron Elite patch, and anybody can order the I-10 to the end supporter rider shirt. So it's a bunch of cool merch on that link. Feel free to take a look at it if it's something that you're interested in getting. We greatly appreciate you supporting the platform and what we do. Also, as far as the podcast, man, I really, really, really want to grow this podcast because there's power in the people. So do me a favor, man. I know a lot of times, and I'm guilty of it too, I'll go to YouTube and I'll look at a bunch of stuff. And sometimes some things I look at almost daily and I forget to subscribe. By subscribing, what it does, and a subscription is not like back in the day when your grandmother and grandfather, when they bought subscriptions to magazines. It does not cost you anything to hit the subscribe button. Only thing that does is that alerts YouTube to alert you with a notification to let you know every time I come on with a new show for the platform. That's all it does. It just helps YouTube to send you a reminder and say, hey, Sarge is on, and this is his podcast that he's talking about today. So I'd appreciate if you stop what you're doing right now. Just take a second and go over to Sarge Life and Motorcycling YouTube. And the link is also on my Facebook page, but go to Sarge Life and Motorcycling and just hit subscribe. And also, if you don't mind, I would appreciate if you go over to the YouTube page today and shoot a comment. If there's something that we talked about today that you can add to, you know, maybe there's a link that you know of certain tools. Maybe there's a link that you know of certain equipment that you want to share with us. Please put it in the comment section because it just makes us better. So if you can do that for me, I greatly appreciate it. And then lastly, share the channel with a friend, man. Let's get the channel big. Let's get it strong. Let's get it moving. I do these things because I love them. I love doing what I'm doing, man. This is my way of giving back to my community. So as long as you guys want to receive this information, I'm going to be more than willing to be charged up to get this information to you guys, man. So for the ones who've been supporting me since day one, man, I salute you guys. My love. For the new ones that just came on board, welcome. Welcome. This is a place for you. This is a home for you. All I ask is share it with people that you care about in the motorcycle community, man, because there is true strength in unity. I'm going to tell you that now. That's on everything, man. So with that being said, man, hopefully everybody's going to have a great week to finish your week off. Hey, get to work, man, because no Harley-Davidson parts ain't free. And if you're out there motorcycling, man, keep it motorcycling, stay safe, and wear your equipment, you dig?
I know what you're getting ready to say. Hey, Sarge, why you always have to play all that slow music? Man, I know I can't help it, man. But that fast rap music y'all listen to today, give me heart murmurs. But hey, man, it's the Iron Elite Podcast Show where we keep it motorcycling, you dig?